Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Sabotaged of WeAreChange.org, and yet another edition of what the hell is really going on, and all that other stuff. In short, in this video, we're going to be talking about the staggering new information surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein mystery, U.S. troops readying for war, as the U.S. Navy just shut down an Iranian drone as tensions rise, not only with Iran, but Turkey as well, Omar and Trump drama, plus how manholes are now sexist. Not even satire here. But before we get into that, plus a lot more, just know you could support us by using a browser that, in my opinion, is a lot better than Chrome and Mozilla, that earns you cryptocurrency for using its free platform. At the same time, with no cost to you, helps support this independent media broadcast that you get for free every single day. You could start browsing faster, have more ads and trackers blocked, and even be rewarded for it in crypto by simply using Brave. And again, no gimmicks, no lies here. It doesn't cost you anything, and it rewards you and rewards us at the same time. Click the link down below and start freeing up your time right now. Now, okay, before talking about the actual news that matters, that does have an effect on your life and the life of other people around this world in a significant way, let's talk about the distractions that's happening with, of course, the mainstream media like USA Today with their headline article here covering the absolute ass-hattery and idiocracy of American local politics by covering the story of how now Berkeley, why am I not surprised? The city of Berkeley voted, and they banned gendered words such as manhole from which they now officially, by law, have to change to, quote, maintenance hole, creating a city code replacing gendered words with, quote, gendered neutral options. So yeah, that happened. All right, let's talk about the actual stuff that does matter, specifically with American foreign policy that has a major impact on the world, which a few days ago, as we reported, was finally moving in a way that was cohesive, that was peaceful, that was moving towards diplomacy instead of militarism. And we talked about how Iran and the United States were even willing to communicate with each other, which, by the way, this lowered the price of oil on the world market just because of those simple statements. Rand Paul also wants to get involved in these negotiations, which was a very positive sight to see. There was even an offer on the table that Iran would get rid of its nuclear aspirations in exchange for the United States lifting the economic sanctions, the economic warfare that it has been committing against Iran, which is pretty much the same kind of Iran nuclear deal that Obama had. But regardless, this deal was accepted widely by many people as a great deal, even though it's almost literally the same deal that we had before. But it was a great step moving forward. Well, all the way up until today, where just moments ago, where Donald Trump announced that the U.S. Navy just destroyed and shot down an Iranian drone in the Gulf region as an excuse for, quote, defensive action. And the tensions have risen, of course, because of this. And as we still wait to get the full details of exactly what happened here, Donald Trump is saying, from his perspective, from his side, that this Iranian drone got too close to U.S. military units in the Strait of Hormuz. And who would have thought that that was even possible, since, you know, Iran has decided to put its country so close to our military bases. And obviously that's a facetious statement. But according to the United States, the U.S. warship issued multiple calls for the drone to, quote, stand down. The drone was somehow threatening the safety of the ship and the ship's crew, and therefore this U.S. ship decided to shoot down this Iranian drone, calling this, of course, a defensive action. But Iran, like always throughout these kind of encounters, will always have a different side of the story here that we are still not getting. This is also happening as Iran has also just seized a foreign oil tanker with 12 of its crew members, claiming that the oil tanker had 1 million liters of, quote, smuggled fuel, saying initially that they responded to a distress call by the oil tanker, and then when boarding the oil tanker and searching it, they discovered that it was, quote, a smuggling operation. Leading up, of course, to its seizure, the United States is, of course, investigating this. The ship was located off the coast of Iran, and it is still unclear who owns the ship. Now, U.S. intelligence first suggested that this was an oil tanker from the United Arab Emirates, but the UAE actually denies ownership of this ship, and it does still remain a mystery that we are still waiting to get information on. Of course, we're going to follow up closely in these videos. And everything is moving forward like I've been saying it's going to be moving forward, with just more clear escalations from both sides, as we're getting more news reports that over 500 U.S. troops right now are being deployed to Saudi Arabia. The Pentagon plans to additionally send 1,000 troops, all because of the rising tensions with Iran, while at the same time establishing more of a cozy relationship with no one other than frickin' Saudi Arabia, whose main energy competitor in the region, of course, is Iran. And these are just some of the buildups happening in Saudi Arabia, and gradually it is building up to a massive preparation for what I believe is to be the inevitable bombing and conflict that will happen between Iran and the United States. And of course, I'm not the only people to share these kinds of conclusions, since the writing has been on the wall for a very long time that this is brewing and most likely will happen. To me, this is a very similar situation akin to having an active volcano. And of course, that's not the only rumbling that we're having in the Middle East, as tensions are also growing between the United States and Turkey, as we reported to you yesterday, where even the U.S. Pentagon issued a statement Wednesday expressing concern that the Turkish military could carry out a military retaliation over the latest tensions between Turkey and the United States. Since, as we know, the United States is protecting the Kurds, a sworn enemy of Turkey, and the two have been battling back and forth for a very long time, and only now does the United States essentially pretty much offer protection to the Kurds in the very unstable region of Syria. And as you know, it looks like the United States has severed all ties diplomatically and also militarily with Turkey, even removing Turkey from the F-35 military program, with Turkey announcing that they're going to be developing and working with Russia to even create new missile systems, which has completely turned the NATO allied country towards, of course, Russia away from the United States. Fascinating to see, since just a few years ago, Turkey and Russia were close to fighting each other. And now the picture geopolitically is totally different. But moving forward in an unrelated but also other very disturbing story, and that of course is the Jeffrey Epstein story that is surrounded with mystery. And finally, in my opinion, we got some good news in this case, and just moments ago it was ruled on that Jeffrey Epstein has been denied bail and will be in jail during, of course, his very high-profile court proceedings. Now, this is interesting, and this could have gone either way, since, of course, Jeffrey Epstein was offering up virtually everything to be, of course, put on bail. But it's important to understand why he was denied that bail. Part one being the judge specifically citing the testimony of his victims, describing him a, quote, danger to community, and in my opinion, that's definitely an understatement here. He also stated how Epstein had millions hidden away in offshore accounts that many people still don't even know the full scale of, and Epstein had been caught lying with the use of his many passports, including his Austrian passport, which he was caught lying, saying that he had never used, which of course the defense contested and proved otherwise. And this is a very, very significant ruling by the judge here, because many people thought it could have gone either way, especially with the history of Epstein just being able to get away with atrocious crimes, or just simply just get a slap on the wrist because of them. And now this is major news that probably has a lot of powerful elites shaking in their boots, because Epstein essentially had the most powerful and influential people around him. And with all of this, there's going to be a massive document dump that is going to release a lot of this important information. We even have Epstein's ex-IT contractor recently going on the record and publicly talked about how there was unsupervised 15 and 16-year-old girls on his pedo-Caribbean island with, of course, illicit topless photos lying around everywhere. Which, again, this is important to understand here because we have the former Prime Minister of Israel, we have Bill Clinton, we have many other people coming out saying, we had no idea what was going on here. And the former Prime Minister of Israel that literally went to the island, suspected nothing. Bill Clinton supposedly suspected nothing. But now we have contradictory evidence with this IT guy coming out and talking about the evidence literally being pictured and thrown around everywhere on the island. And again, people need to understand this is just the beginning. As many people expect, this no bail ruling recently is of course going to encourage more accusers to come forward, since it's going to be a lot safer to do so now. Already the information that is coming out is extremely disturbing. We've been following it very closely here. And again, this is only the beginning, as even MSNBC just found old footage from 1992 with Donald Trump hanging out, talking, and partying with Jeffrey Epstein. And yeah, I mean, what do you say about videos like this where you know all the details surrounding the specific case, and it should just highlight the disturbing nature of just how grotesque and disgusting our current political establishment is, where the Democrats, the Republicans, they are all tied in together with a billionaire pedophile that has been above the law for too long. Now, of course, the legal battle around this is going to be fascinating, to say the least, with Jeffrey Epstein and his defense trying to, of course, argue for dismissal. But in my opinion, one of the reasons why Jeffrey Epstein was not granted bail, was not slapped on the wrist like he was last time, is being held in jail. One of the reasons that I believe that's happening is because of the attention, because of the media, because of the conversation, because of the Miami Herald and many other personalities and many people not quitting on this, not giving this up, and making this an issue of focus and in importance. And again, stop trying, as we've been demonstrating here, to make this a left-right issue. This is not a left-right issue. It's a top-down issue that is finally being addressed, and all the documents and all the information is rightfully deserved to be public. A lot of it is, and that's why we're reporting on it, and that's why we're going to continue to report on it as real independent media that won't just shill out and try to push an agenda with, of course, this horrible case that does deserve justice. Now, moving forward, in unrelated news with Donald Trump, we, of course, have the U.S. president walking back some of his heated rhetoric with, of course, the squad, as they're called, the freshman woke Congress women. But Donald Trump is walking some of that back, saying that he disavows the, quote, send her back chant that happened during his rally, which is good. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to piss off people, surprisingly, both on the left and both on the right here. And again, this needs to happen, and I rarely see people try to paint the more honest picture here, because everyone here wants to have a particular side, wants their side to win. But this is how you ultimately not only divide and conquer society, but this is how you destroy society, by being disingenuous, and I refuse to do that. So hold on. Don't put your panties all in a bunch now. But this is what I wanted to express here during this big drama debate that's happening between Omar Ocasio-Cortez and Donald Trump and other people. The big factor that needs to be understood here is that, oh man, I'm going to get in trouble. What I want to say here is it doesn't matter. It's a big distraction. It's ego and personality at its worst. And guess what? Donald Trump, he's not racist. I'm sorry people have to hear this. Look at his personality. Look at his celebrity success before he became president of the United States, before he fully got engaged in politics. There was not one accusation against him being a racist before he got into politics, and sadly now it is being overused as a political weapon against some people who don't like to be challenged. And because they don't like to be challenged, they scream out that everything that is not with their agenda is racist. And that's disingenuous, and it's not true. And just as pundit Michael Tracy puts it, this is also going to be controversial here, Ilhan Omar never said anything anti-Semitic. And there's many things you could criticize her on, just like you could criticize Donald Trump on, but guess what? Many other arguments against Omar are hyperbolic, are sensational, and have no merit, just like they do against Donald Trump. So stop your bull, stop trying to be emotionally triggered and manipulated, and try to understand that point of view. Do you agree with me? Oh, you're not, because you're probably not going to. What? Try to verbalize. Calm down a little bit. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Try to verbalize why you disagree with me. Again, I'm not here for the popularity. I'm here to express myself. I'm here to do my research. This is how I see it. And the only way you could convince me is to inform me with constructive criticism and not emotional, hyperbolic bull crap that is dominating our political sphere. I'm so sick of that bull crap. And this is why I do what I do. It's powered by you. And deep down, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, thank you for at least being a part of the conversation. Love you. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.